Hey there folks, I am Jeff. This is Tabletop Toolbox, and today I'm going to fill your life with floral fanfare for the fantastic price of 5.
Pass.
4.
Nope.
3.
Sold.
Hey, we have a winner right here on Tabletop Toolbox. Alright, today I'm taking a look at what just might be the simplest, most straightforward game I've ever reviewed, ever. This is Floristry by Up Games, designed by David Gordon and Tam, with art by Aman Anderson and Mari Tan. In this day and age of massive overproduced board games costing hundreds of dollars, Floristry is an exercise in minimalism, or at least it would appear, as in this box are 2 window frames, 2 screen-printed cat tokens used for scoring, a bag of 42 flower tokens, a scoring easel, and this 2-sided card of rules. That's it. But that's not quite everything you need to play Floristry. You'll also need a smartphone or similar smart device running a web-based applet. In Floristry, players will be bidding on these flower tokens, placing them into a grid within their window frame, trying to arrange the largest patterns of each flower to score the most points. So, why the app? Well, because the 2 and only 2 players who can play Floristry will be using a Dutch auction in which the price of an item is lowered periodically until a buyer volunteers to pay the current price. Both players start the game with 30 credits, and once the timer is started, the app will drop the price of the current auction of tiles from a starting price of 5 until a player taps their end of the screen. Each auction consists of 4 tiles. The winning bidder takes 3 of them for the cost they accepted, and the other player gets the remaining tile for free. Tiles are placed inside the window frames, sharing at least one straight edge with another tile. Despite the domino-like appearance of these tiles, the images don't have to match up, but of course, it's in your best interest if they do. And the window frame can be adjusted during play. This simply keeps your tiles constrained to a specific size. At the end of the game, players will score points for the largest contiguous area of each flower in their window. And the player with the most remaining money, which the app will track along the way, will also score some extra points based on the difference of your remaining funds. And of course, the player with the highest total score will emerge the winner. Floristry is one of those games where the mechanisms, the gameplay, and even the rules are so rudimentary, so unambiguous that as a reviewer, it's somewhat difficult to further deconstruct and discuss. This is a simple tile placement game with a purposeful yet unobtuse bidding system that adds just enough anxiety to keep things interesting and a bit entertaining. When a player immediately jumps on that $5 price, it generates conversation, maybe a laugh, maybe a gasp. And that's great. It's what you want out of a 2-player game with this kind of unexpected theme. And that's even before you run the math to realize that the tiles you just snagged might give you 4 points, but suddenly being that much poorer than your opponent leaves them 5 points in the lead. That creates a lovely bit of tension in this otherwise simplistic game, and while it's certainly not my goal when reviewing a game, it's nearly impossible to find any fault with Floristry. However, I probably should take a moment to address the elephant ear in the room. This app. Now, I will readily admit that when board games started hitting the market with companion applications, I thought, this is it. This is the future of board gaming. But since then, we've seen one horror story after another of games, some of them rather big, expensive, ambitious projects, having their apps abandoned, rendering those games nothing more than useless boxes of trinkets. Now, in Floristry's defense, it uses a simple web applet, not something that you have to download or, of course, pay for from an app store. Allegedly, you can even download it for offline use, though I haven't tried that out for myself. But the game does require the app, as the Dutch auction mechanism does require some external influence. And since Up Games is a pretty small publisher, let me just suggest that if you're watching this significantly later than, say, April 6th of 2025 when I film this, at least make sure the game is still playable before you go snagging a copy. I have enjoyed Floristry. It's not big, it's not flashy, but it's also not shy on a little bit of flower power. Cheers. Perfect. And then the last one is sold. What? You act like this is weird.